Hello again, welcome back to the clouds. Today we are all kitted up for taking down our old deer fence. Safety first. So today we're taking down this old deer fence. Now the first winter we were here, we wanted to get our coppice going so we could get firewood as quickly as we could. But the problem is we needed to stop the deer getting in. We have a lot of deer around here. We're next to a massive conifer plantation where the deer really do well. So we decided to cobble this together. It's made up of some fence that was already here, lots of sheep netting that our predecessors left in the barn, and then about 2 kilometers of this blue polytwine. So it looks a mess, and it's beginning to fall down anyway, but it really did the job and it kept the deer from coming in, and our coppice is now really happy and doing well. Now you might be wondering, what's with the chainsaw kit? Well, I've learned through experience that barbed wire is vicious stuff, and a lot of it is under tension. So when you snip it, it prongs and goes flying. And also then when you're trying to wrestle it into some kind of wad so you can get rid of it, it's really easy to smack yourself in the face. And I've learned through bitter experience that this is a good idea. So let's get on with this and take this whole thing down. I was undoing this bit of polytwine. I want to show you this. But the reason why we use polytwine in the first place is because the sheep netting that was here is only about waist high. The roe deer can jump about 5 feet, about 1.5 meters over fences. So we've put this polytwine in to try to dissuade them from doing it. It doesn't look like it should work, but it did. But look at this, where this polytwine was around this branch, it's begun growing around the polytwine. Look at that. And if I hadn't come and taken it away, then the bark would have grown, the tree would have grown, the polytwine would have been inside the tree. In fact, it's happened down here to some wire. Come and have a look. This wire has grown completely into the tree. This sheep netting has, like that, and this barbed wire is beginning to. It's just really incredible. The problem with this is that, first off, you can't get rid of it very easily. Even if you cut it, you end up with little sharp barbs of wire poking out. But also someday the tree will die and somebody will cut it up with a chainsaw. And hitting this stuff with your chainsaw is really bad for the chain. It blunts it very, very quickly. I've had the pleasure of doing that a couple of times. And I really do not like barbed wire. We're trying to get rid of it all. In fact, we are getting rid of all of it on our property. I wonder how long this has been here for to grow in like this. This is quite something. We had to get quite creative in places to get the polytwine at the right height. You can see we've kind of got this crazy knot going on. But we wanted to try to make them roughly parallel and try to figure out how big of a gap would a deer try to get through. Remember my wife and I having discussions about pole vaulting deer and how they might try to get through. I have no idea if a deer would jump through this or not, but they didn't either way, and so it worked really well. So now, take it all down. When you're dealing with barbed wire, chainsaw gloves are incredibly helpful. The leather's thick enough that the barbs can't get through. So now this bit here, this bit of barbed wire has been twisted on this bit. That is under a lot of tension. So when I cut it, it's probably going to go flying. Right, protection. That wasn't dramatic at all. Right, look, here's another interesting situation. The wire goes into this tree. I don't know if it's stapled there and the wire double back on itself, or if it in fact goes all the way around the tree. Who knows? But either way, I'll snip it there and there. But here's something cool. There's actually woodpecker holes. We can often hear woodpeckers in the area. So we're going to leave this up as standing dead wood. It gets full of insects in them, and woodpeckers come and eat them, and it's good for biodiversity. So leaving standing dead trees, as long as they're not dangerous, is a really good thing to do. Putting up this deer fence is actually one of the very first jobs we did with Hazel when we got her. We got her when she was about 4 or 5 years old. She's actually a rescue dog. And she had her safety goggles on then too. Keep you safe. This fence is a complete hodgepodge of different things. The old netting that was here originally, it's all totally rusted. New stuff we put on top. I don't think much of it's salvageable. So we're just going to be snipping it away and sending it off for recycling. So, nearly finished now. Let's get on with it. This one's going to be a bit awkward, as it's grown into the tree so much. Every time I cut it, like I said, it's going to create a sharp bit of metal. And the problem there is if I walk past or an animal walks past and you brush against it, you can end up getting cut. So I'm going to try to smash them as flat as I can. This is maybe a bit of a challenge to take apart. Really inside this tree, I think I just have to snip it like that, kind of close as I can, and then knock the sharp bits down. And eventually the tree will grow and these will end up inside, so there won't be a danger eventually because of that. There we go, getting there. Wow, there's like the whole bottom straining wire is inside there. Well, there's some moss means I can't see what I'm doing. There we go, that's better. Watch out, Mr. Worm. Go over there. Okay, good. All this sheep netting, I'm cutting it into about 2 meter long lengths. It'll make it a whole lot easier for us to handle and stick into the trailer and for the recycle people to deal with when they come. Long lengths of this stuff can become really quite unwieldy. And if it's in good condition, then you can roll it up into a spool and store it for future use. But this stuff's so bent, mangled, and rusted, I don't think it has any future use as a fence. So we'll cut it up into small pieces to handle it better. We put all these rocks here to hold it to the ground. We had sheep here at one point, and we didn't want the sheep, the little lambs, to be able to come underneath. And so we put rocks down to hold it all down. So that's what these are all about. That was a while ago. Here's another tree with fence grown into it, or a fence with tree grown around it. This is a really interesting thing to take note of. If you have metal fencing, don't fix it to trees. Use fence posts. Otherwise this happens. It can't be healthy for the tree, and it certainly isn't going to be good for whoever's chainsaw has to go through it. And I don't know why there's a random gate hinge there. What do you think, Hazel? No idea, huh? Me either. Right, so some barbed wire tangled up in all of this. So that's not good. I think if I cut the sheep netting away first. Have you got your safety goggles on? You haven't, have you? Maybe we should put those on you. Then you'll be safe to work. There you go. So this is the last little bit to go, and sadly it's all grown into this ash tree. And that's it, all gone. Well, that's all the fencing collected, and we did manage to salvage some decent sheep netting. Bundled all that up. We'll pop it under cover to keep it safe, find another project to use it for. Need to get the trailer and collect all this stuff in. Better get the kernel. This is the kernel mustard, of course. Our last lawnmower had a major mechanical failure and has died, so we had to get a replacement. So let's go and load it into the trailer and off to the scrap. So that's about 150 meters of dodgy deer fence gone. I think our trees will thank us for it. Before you go though, let me show you our proper deer fence. Come on, Haze. And this is our proper deer fence. It keeps the deer on the correct side, and it's incredibly effective and has these badger gates in that I've shown you before. I hope you enjoyed that. It is cold and very windy. I'm going inside. See you next time.